Hey everyone, welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Howard Blackburn, and as always, I want to start off by just saying thank you once again to everyone who is just reviewing, rating, liking, subscribing, sharing the podcast so far. We really appreciate all of your support and can't wait to keep moving along on this journey. So thank you. Leadership can be extremely simple, but more often than not, we allow busy to cloud our judgment. Today, I want to share with you my favorite leadership analogy. It's very simple, but it's very effective. I've used this with many leaders in the past, and I continue to use it with leaders today. This is an analogy that has really helped leaders that I've worked with understand their role much better. It's helped leaders maximize their time and have a greater impact on the business and their people. This analogy can be very confronting for some because it asks for a bit of reflection, a bit of honesty. But for others, it can be that aha moment. You know, the one with the light bulb going off in your mind. Ding! How often have you been in the scenario where you've thought, I need to go in early because the team's been so busy. It's really busy. I need to jump out on the floor. This sound familiar? That's okay. I was there once too. I'm a sports guy, and like most sporting teams in the workplace, we're all out on a mission to win, to achieve particular goals, and to achieve them as a unit. So here's my analogy. Let's go to the NRL. Let's go to the Bulldogs because I'm not a big Bulldogs fan. And my Cronulla Sharks are out there. There's only 20 minutes gone in the game, but the Sharks are up 24-0. Players are having a blinder. Talakai's just ripping it up. But the Bulldogs, they're out on the back foot. What they're doing isn't working. They're buggered. Their heads are down. I want to ask you this. Have you ever seen the coach of a team, and in this case, Mick Potter for the Dogs, would you ever see him running out onto the field to start playing the game to help the Dogs claw back their deficit and to potentially win the game? Have you ever seen it? I've watched a lot of sport, and I mean a lot of sport. Not once have I ever seen this. Why? Because it's not the coach's role to play the game. Instead, what does the coach do? Coach observes, reviews the game plan, has a look at personnel, adapts and makes necessary adjustments where they're needed. That's what the coach does in order to move forward. Are you following me here? As a leader, no matter the industry, you are the coach. I work with leaders in construction, mining, retail, hospitality, education, and this analogy, it aligns. As leaders, your role is to support and prepare your team for game day. Game day equals trading hours. Equip them with the game plan. Game plan equals communication, training, development. The tools to play their own role and empower them to execute the game plan. This is good leadership. Keeping it quite simple, our role as leaders is to review, adapt, engage. If you aren't doing those things and aren't spending time planning to do those things, you aren't leading at all. In fact, you're just slowing your team and your business down. The same way that Mick Potter would go out and add no value to the Bulldogs side, you're adding no value to your team when you're not playing your role. Now, just to be clear, sure, there are going to be times where you need to get your hands dirty and help out in other areas, but only you know whether that's a one-off or a consistent challenge. Only you know that. Let's talk time. How many of you feel like you don't have time on your side? Well, guess what? The time that you're spending jumping out and playing other people's roles, you don't get that back. If anything, you actually have to add that onto your week just to try and get any resemblance of fulfilling your role for that week. Earlier, I said leadership can be simple. This is as simple as I can put it. If you want to gain back control of your time, play your role. Put your energy and your priorities into those things that you are responsible and accountable for. So, do you want to be the player or do you want to be the coach? Today, I want you to take some time to think about how this relates to your role. Like anything, you've got one of two choices. You can choose to do nothing with this, or you can choose to do something. Think about how do you plan and prepare your team? What emphasis do you have on ensuring that they have the tools they need to be successful? If you ever want to see firsthand the impact of playing your role, Go on YouTube and search for post-match press conferences or post-game interviews with players. The amount of times they just say, oh, I just went out and played my role. Or the coach will say, oh, the boys just went out there and played their role. They're spot on. And it's so important. As a team, as a unit, you can only move forward and share in success if everyone firstly understands their role, has clarity in it, and has the tools they need to perform in that space. So I'd love for you to let us know. Are you the player or the coach? Comment below if you're watching on YouTube. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. If you've already left us a review, leave us another one. We'd love your feedback. We'd love your questions. Please keep sharing, rating, and reviewing the podcast. We really appreciate all of your support so far. Today, I just want to leave you with this. Great leaders prioritize creating a culture that inspires their team to be great. So the next time busy strikes, I want you to remember this analogy. Play your role and not your team's.